Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. It is Monday, January 15th, and I am your host, Davriel Gardner, wishing a very happy Monday to you. I am flying solo once again. Mark seems to definitely have the kitty flu. I have this, scenario or this hunch that kid flus are just different from all of the other flus. And so we're all just going to continue to pray for Mark and hope that he's feeling better, that he recovers from the kid flu, and that he's back and better than ever. But in the meantime, we are still going to have a great time. Today is 15th of January once again, and I have to, and I hope I don't get myself into trouble, but I have to wish my sister-in-law once again, Keandra Gardner, a happy Founders Day. She's an AKA, and this is very special to them, so I'm wishing her a happy day. And she also completed her first half marathon, so this is a super shout out to Keandra this morning. I was thinking about today. I woke up so excited and energized. I think this is the exact way that you want to feel on a Monday. And so I found some Monday quotes, but the one that was my favorite, and probably because I'm a girly girl, was, "If life gives you a Monday, dip it in glitter and sparkle all week." I think we need to change the reputation of Mondays because it is a new beginning, a chance for new opportunities to create new habits that can bring you new success. Today is also our National Day of Prayer. Of course, we would have heard from our Prime Minister who talked to us about crime and what we really need to do to make changes. And one of those things that we need to do is pray. And so for those of you who remember the segment that took place on Friday with Bishop Delton Fernander, you definitely want to assemble this evening to spend some time in prayer for the health and future of our nation. We've got some exciting things in store for you today. Author Julian Mims is here to tell us about his book, Sandy Black and the Seven Giants. And we'll hear all about the Bahamas Red Cross Ball 2024. We'll also be hearing about Operation Potcake 2024, and we'll take another look at our segment discussing violence in our country with Bishop Delton Fernander. TCL invites you to the 32nd Annual Bahamas Business Outlook, Thursday, January 25th. Check our website, TCL Events, for more information and to register for the conference. But before all that, we'll have our first look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Davriel, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, we do have a quasi-stationary frontal boundary just to the north of the Berry Islands across Abaco and Andros this morning, and that's going to shift back to the north and to the east over the next 12 to 24 hours, and that'll bring some cloudiness mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas, a couple of showers. To remain the islands, we have a high pressure building across that island, and so we're looking at partly sunny skies and a bit breezy over the next several days ahead of another cold front that's expected here on Wednesday morning. Today, though, we're looking at partly sunny, a bit breezy and warm, with a few showers over the northwest Bahamas, high temperature 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds around on the mild side, your low temperature going down to 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 86 and 77, in Jamaica 90 and 76, in Trinidad 89 and 73, and the Turks and Caicos Islands 82 and 70. Across North America, Atlanta's 47 and 27, in Boston 37 and 23, in Miami 79 and 72, Dallas, Texas 21 and 09, and Toronto, Canada 22 and 12. As we go the week, we're going to look at a second front moving here on Wednesday morning. There'll be a couple of showers, particularly through the northwest Bahamas and parts of central Bahamas as it stalls in the central Bahamas sometime on Wednesday night. Those temperatures at daytime will be in the low 80s, at nighttime upper 60s to lower 70s. That pressure up on your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. Our first guest is author Julian Mims, who was recently part of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture's Division of Cultural Affairs, Culture on the Key. He's here to tell us about his experience as well as his book. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
So, what inspired you to become a writer?
Just a life of creativity, I guess. I always come up with stories. I've always been able to be creative, and it's just a good way to be able to get those thoughts out and to somebody else to have them have a good time and experience those things.
So tell us all about your book.
Sandy Black and the Seven Giants is essentially Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, but it's made black because obviously there's no black fairy tales. In the world of Chronicles of Narnia, and what I mean by that is that everything is alive. So trees talk, birds talk, everything talks. And with the problems from Lord of the Rings, what I mean by that is the issue is very detrimental to everybody. So it's an epic, we'll say that. It's an adventure, fairy tale, fantasy.
Why was creating a black fairy tale something that you were passionate about?
Well, obviously growing up as a black man, in a household with a mother who's very creative as well, you look for things that you can relate to, and you look for things that you grew up that you liked to be a part of. Fairy tales and fantasy and all that stuff, folklore, all those things were things that were interest of mine growing up. And so to just take a fairy tale that's already pre-existing and then to kind of remix it and to expand it and make it a bigger world than what we've already seen was important to me so that others could identify and continue to watch.
When I heard the title, I'm like, this sounds like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but a nice twist on it. So if she's Sandy versus Snow, is this taking place in the Bahamas? Is she in a beachy location? Where is Sandy living?
She is in basically a different time zone, different dimension.
Okay.
That only opens when children sleep and dream.
That sounds very exciting. I mean, I'm actually very genuinely intrigued. Obviously you're speaking to the fact that you wanted to create an experience with a fairy tale that black kids could identify with,
yes.
that, black people could identify with. But let's say if there were 3 core messages that you wanted to get across with this piece of work, what would they be?
Dare to dream. We live in a time where there's so many sources of media and outlets for kids to not have an imagination to just plug in and play. And I grew up in a time when you had to use your imagination. You had to go outside and make the sword out of the stick and turn the rock into the grenade or whatever it was that you were trying to do with whatever game you were trying to play. You had to envision it. And this is a culmination of those visions. This is a culmination of those thoughts. And we need to get back to being able to dream.
I love that. What was it like participating in Culture on the Key?
It was great. It was a great experience. It was something that's necessary here. Continuously, it's something that's necessary to continue to have more of, to allow other artists and other creatives to come out and show their wares in a sense and show their passion, show their creativity to the masses and have people actually be able to experience those things and know that they're there and they're viable.
What was the response that you got from the attendees of Culture on the Key?
Generally very positive. Anytime we have a event, especially that event, that event was great because it was centralized in a great location, and it wasn't just focused on Bahamians being able to come in and experience it. Anyone could walk through and come and experience it, which is what made it great because it opened the locals up to the rest of the world. Realistically, is what it did.
Did you find a lot of curiosity about your work? And then did you find that, I know that when I'm in creative spaces, let's say if I do a play and I interact with somebody, they'll say, you did your play and that has inspired me to do something else. Did you find that conversations were that your work was inspiring others to tap into their creative side?
Most of what I get is the catchiness of the cover. Everyone's drawn. I have a large billboard poster that I put up when I go to an event, and everyone's drawn to the cover. Then we finally sit down and we talk, or I talk to someone and I tell them the gist of the story, and they're drawn into the story kind of in a way. Honestly, it validates the fact that I wanted you to be able to use your imagination because you can start to envision what I wrote, just like you did a moment ago. So that's really all the validation and support I need in that, because once I get you to dream, I've done my job.
How important is it for the government to facilitate events like these that showcase creatives and not just crafts, things like that people can just pick up, but intellectual creatives, artists, writers like yourself?
It's very important. You're trying to grow industries and grow thoughts and ideas that are going to facilitate change and or growth in the country. And without all these different avenues and venues to show off these different types of thoughts, no one knows. And if no one knows, no one can see what's possible. If no one can see what's possible, then that creativity, that imagination never get sparked.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a writer?
I wouldn't say that I always knew I wanted to be a writer. It was just something that was there. I can definitely say God has given me a gift that sometimes we don't think about those gifts often because there's something that comes natural or easy to us. I'm just thankful that I was able to put it into play.
What advice would you have for a young writer who doesn't know where to start? They're creative, they scribble little things here and there, but they haven't figured out how to make themselves an author.
I understand that very much because that's me still. Right. And write for the purpose of finishing. The objective is to get a product done. And yeah, you might not know where you're going initially, so you outline and you write and you write and you write because no one's going to do it for you. So the objective is to write and get the story done, write and get to the point to where you feel comfortable with it. A lot of us have a tendency to be perfectionists. Write. If you don't write, the story never comes to be. So write with the purpose of finishing.
I love that. You know, as a writer, I think I tend to, I mean, maybe this is not the best visual, but I see my brain just spitting everything on the page.
Yep.
And then we try to make sense of it. I don't edit it in my brain, like you said, like just get it out there.
Just get it out.
And let it be what it is. Well, if somebody wants to pick up a copy of Sandy Black and the Seven Giants, where can they do that?
You can go to Logos Bookstore here locally, or you can go anywhere online, Amazon, anywhere literally online, Borders, anywhere online you can order it.
And if somebody wants to follow you, are you on social media? Can they find you that way?
Julian Mims and Julian Mims Writes are both of my handles on social media.
Well, awesome. Well, congratulations to you on this book. I look forward to a lot more exciting things in the future. Maybe even a movie about Sandy Black and the Seven Giants.
Thank you so very much.
In the years to come. And thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back. Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way.
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Join us for the Bahamas Business Outlook Conference, Thursday, January 25th, 8:45 a.m. at the Bahamar Convention Center. We're bringing the business community together under the theme, Future Bahamas, branding the national identity and planning for success. The day includes a business expo, lunch, an art tour, keynote address by Prime Minister Davis, exciting panels, and so much more. Begin your year on a high note. Get your tickets today at tclevents.com.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Operation Potcake is an effort to humanely and kindly reduce the dog and cat populations of the Bahamas. And with me now to tell us more is Kim Aranha, President of the Bahamas Humane Society and Chairman of Operation Potcake 2024. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So tell us, what is Operation Potcake?
Okay, Operation Potcake is a 10-day initiative to try and reduce the amount of stray and roaming dogs and cats in New Providence. It's the only humane way to do this is to spay and neuter to make reproduction impossible, and therefore we have less and less dogs and cats on the street. It can't be done in just one go, but what we're doing is we're doing a huge start, 5 clinics across the island of New Providence, hoping to do over 3,000 dogs and cats in the period of the 18th to the 28th of January. It's free. If you have a Potcake, if you have a pit bull, whatever you have, if you'd like to have them fixed, we do it for free. Everybody who brings their own or brings an animal themselves into one of the clinics becomes eligible for a mini raffle. So there's a daily raffle in each clinic for a gift certificate to Super Value, and at the end there is a grand prize which will be a minimum of $300 or a flat screen TV or other prizes that we're still getting in, but you have to be the person that brings in an animal. If we have to go fetch it, you're not eligible for that raffle, but you're still eligible to have your dog or your neighbor's dog spayed or neutered for free.
And where do they have to bring the dog?
Well, we have 5 clinics. We have one on East Street, one on Kemp Road, one just off Carmichael, one at the Old Punch location on Farrington Road, and the Bahamas Humane Society shelter. We will be doing cats.
That is, I want to say exciting, but it's really not exciting for the animals themselves.
You know, really, the animals don't react like humans. They don't have the same needs. They're perfectly happy once they're fixed. They don't usually feel any post-operative pain. We will take them back to exactly where we found them. Once they come out of their anesthetic, we make sure they're okay. We give them their shots, we clean their ears, we trim their nails. I mean, they have a whole beauty spa going too. And they quite simply will not have any more puppies. And I can tell you for some of those female dogs, that's a blessing.
Oh yeah. I was driving the other day and I saw quite a few Potcakes and quite a few of them seemed to be pregnant, and I'm like, you know, you identified with it almost on a human level, like, oh, she's a mom and she doesn't know where she's going to get her next meal
And it's
from.
raining cats and dogs. I mean, we have baskets of puppies and kittens brought to us at the shelter almost daily. We can't cope. We don't want to put anybody to sleep just because they're inconvenient or too many. So this is the only humane way to do it. But we will continue doing it through the years, but not quite as big as this effort. We have over 120 people coming in to help us.
That is incredible. Can you speak to the broader work of the Bahamas Humane Society and why it's so important?
Well, I'd like to point out that we are the oldest charity in the Bahamas. We turn 100 years old this year. Wow. And we are the first charity that was established here, therefore the oldest. Kindness to animals is essential because it has been proven, actually, that the guy that kicks the dog, that beats up the puppy, is eventually the guy who beats his child or beats up his wife. Violence is progressive. Mm-hmm. So kindness to animals taught to a child is essential. If you can't be kind to a 6-pound helpless puppy, how can you expect anybody to be kind to anything? Mm-hmm. So that is essential. Secondly, tourists hate to come here and see starving animals on the corner of the street. If you knew how many phone calls we get a year with tourists complaining, oh, I saw this dog on Junkanoo Beach, I saw this dog at Arawak Key, it's constant. The way to cure this is to be a responsible owner, keep your dog in your yard, and that's what we try to teach people week in and week out. And we do reach some people, but we haven't reached nearly enough.
Mm-hmm. You know, when it comes to these kinds of spay and neuter, activations like this isn't a first for the Humane Society. How did the time during the pandemic affect, these efforts and the dog and cat population?
It's funny, actually, during the pandemic, people adopted because they wanted company. And then after the pandemic, we thought, oh, great, they were all keeping their pets. And then it started, that people said they couldn't afford it. We have a food bank where we do help people feed their pets, provided we know it's for real, and that can be proven quite easily. But if you own a pet and you're out of work and you don't want to give him up, we will help feed that individual pet. You can come every week and get dog food or cat food. But now it seems that people are doing better and therefore they're maybe less empathetic for the animals. I don't know. I don't know how you can walk past a starving dog, frequently on a chain, to go into your house every day and not feel something in here. It's like, where is your heart?
Wow. In terms of all of the volunteers who are going to be participating in these efforts, where have they come from?
All over the world. I mean, we've got 100 local volunteers and about 120 foreign volunteers. Most of our foreign volunteers are veterinarians, vet technicians, and helping us trap. We don't have enough Bahamian professionals who can drop their work for 2 weeks and work for us for free. So it's entirely in agreement with the Veterinarian Association, and the local vets are coming in and out as much as they can. But, they have professions, they have clients, they can't just drop everything. So they're from the Caribbean, some are from, there's a guy from India, there's America, Canada, all over the world.
All getting together to help, to save the Potcakes and to reduce the Potcake population.
All coming in to help the Bahamas.
So remind us, if people want to bring a dog, where and when can they bring them?
Okay, well,
or a cat.
Our clinic's open on Thursday, which is the 18th?
Yes.
And we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we're giving the vets 2 days rest, and then it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday again. The locations are Carmichael Road, East Street, Kemp Road, Farrington Road, and the Bahamas Humane Society. There are posters all over the place. And also, if you need to, you can email us at operationpotcake242@gmail.com, or go onto our webpage. And if you forget all of that, phone the Humane Society, and we'll tell you all over again.
This is incredible work, very important work in terms of teaching the public to be responsible and to be kind to animals. Yeah. I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for highlighting us today. And please, please, spay and neuter your dog and cat.
And that is the lesson for today. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Here are 3 young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability. Learn basic literacy and numeracy skills and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.ds or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
One thing, two things, little thing, all things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm your host, Gabrielle Gardner, hoping that you are having a happy Monday because we are having a happy Monday here on Bahamas at Sunrise, talking about so many exciting things that are going on in the country this week and in the weeks to come. We talked a little bit about some highlights from Culture on the Key, and we learned a lot from our author Julian about his exciting fiction work, as well as we got to talk to the Bahamas Humane Society about Operation Potcake 2024 and the exciting work that they're doing in the community. We've got more stuff to come in our second half. The Bahamas Red Cross is here to talk about their upcoming ball. And we'll take another look at our segment discussing the surge of violent crime from the Prime Minister's call for a National Day of Prayer, which is today. But before all that, we'll take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at Sunrise, we have a quasi-stationary frontal boundary across the Berry Islands and across central Abaco, North Andros. And that's going to shift north and east over the next 24 hours, making way for high pressure to build across the islands. That high pressure is present in the central and southeastern islands. And we expect some windy conditions over the next several days ahead of another front that should be here sometime on Wednesday morning. In your marine forecast today, those winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over all the islands. On Tuesday, those winds become southeast to south at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over northwest and central Bahamas, southeast at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet over the southeastern islands. And then on Wednesday, those winds southwest to west at 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet ahead of the frontal boundary, but they should be shifting after frontal passage west to northwest at 15 to 20 knots, seas building 4 to 6 feet over the northwest Bahamas, light and variable seas 1 to 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 10:38 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 5:05 this evening. High gain tonight at 11:13. Sunset 5:40 this evening. Rises more at 6:57. UV index 7. Your water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase. New moon. Your extended look. That quasi-frontal boundary should move out of the area sometime by tonight. High pressure builds across the islands. Those winds start to pick up slightly and become stronger by that cold front. That should move sometime on Wednesday morning. Expect a couple of clouds, mainly over the northwest Bahamas, a couple of showers this morning, moving out by tonight. For the most part, partly sunny tomorrow, but then increasing cloudiness over northwest Bahamas ahead of that frontal boundary on Wednesday. Behind that, we're going to look at a mix of sun and cloud. The temperature daytime will be in the upper 70s, the lower 80s at daytime, at nighttime in the lower 70s. That pressure up on your phone, look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. The 50th Red Cross Ball, under the theme 50 Shades of Red, a Golden Celebration, is scheduled for January 27th. Here to tell us all about the excitement surrounding this event are Kimberly Thurston, Chair of the Red Cross Ball, Alicia Pinder, Director General of the Bahamas Red Cross, and Drexel Woods, Director of Technical Operations at BTC. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
You know, during the break, I was like, it's ball season already? So we are starting the year off strong with the Red Cross Ball. Can we talk about the significance of this year's ball, especially being the 50th?
The significance of this year's ball being the 50th is we're going to go bigger. You ever heard the saying, go big or go home?
Yes.
We are going big this year to celebrate the 50th ball of the Bahamas Red Cross. We're excited, we're ready, and we're ready to kick off ball season. And as you mentioned, our theme, 50 Shades of Red, a Golden Celebration. It will indeed be a celebration, one to remember. This one is going to be for the books.
And how did you come up with that theme, 50 Shades of Red?
Well, we knew that it was the 50th year, and we also knew that, so we wanted to use 50. And when you talk about Red Cross, we can talk about different shades, different aspects of persons' lives, different ways the Red Cross have to assist these persons. One of the principles of the Red Cross is to help the most vulnerable among us. So we figured that we will celebrate 50 different ways that we are able to assist. And look at shades. Shades is not only a shade, but shade could mean protection, shade could mean shelter, and this is how we came up with that theme.
I love that. It's definitely exciting, and you're playing on the theme, the double entendre with the colors, as well as the shade of support, which I wouldn't have thought about. Absolutely. So let's talk about the way that the Red Cross has evolved over the years and the work that you've done.
Of course, 50 years is not as long as Red Cross has been in existence in the Bahamas. So Red Cross has been around since the British Red Cross in the 30s. Then we became Red Cross Bahamas in 1976. And since then, we've seen a lot of changes. The needs have changed as society changes. Then so are the needs of those who are most vulnerable. Population has increased. We have diversity in terms of technology and the ways that this also assists us in our response. It's been quite a journey, and because we are there to ensure that government agencies, we're an auxiliary, so we have to ensure that we are aligned with the changes and also ensure that no one is left behind. The most vulnerable that we talk about are the faceless, sometimes the nameless individuals, but their needs are still great and it's before us. And so that's how we keep up, because we don't want anyone to be left behind.
Speaking of, we recently had the Bahamas Feeding Network on, and they talked about the recent decline in charitable donations in general, and they talked about the fact that they do believe that it's affecting the Red Cross as well. How important is it for folks to participate in fundraising initiatives like this so that you continue the work that you do?
Well, extremely important. People speak to me sometimes and they say, well, you probably get a lot of donations. People do a lot, and if the assumption is that everyone else is doing, then sometimes there's a gap. But it is very important that we continue to appeal to the public, organization, businesses. Over the 50 years, we've also seen where there were a lot of generous benefactors, and that has subsided a bit. We still have a lot of people who support us in terms of sponsorship with the ball, but it takes encouragement, and we want people to just remember the work that we do, how important we are for the society, not only for feeding. So we're there for disasters, we're there in terms of ensuring that there are programs that strengthen youth. And so we just need people to remember that we need their support to make our programs more effective.
Speaking of support, BTC has come on as a sponsor for this year's ball, which again is a key fundraiser. Why was it so important for BTC to get involved?
So for us at BTC, it was very important to get involved because at the end of the day, the initiatives of the Red Cross of the Bahamas as well as BTC kind of aligns. They reach out to various parts of the nation and different islands, and we have a heart, and we believe in not just having a heart, but sharing our heart. And so last year, we would have been a platinum sponsor. So this year, for the 50th, we decided to step it up and become the title sponsor and, donate more towards this cause.
Wow. So, we have an excellent sponsor who's going to be supporting, and we've moved up. I'm like, when you said you moved up from platinum, I'm like, where do you go from platinum?
Title.
You have a title sponsor for this event. It's for an incredible cause. What can people look forward to in terms of experience?
Bahamas, get ready. Like I said earlier, we're ready. They can look forward to a night of dancing. As we open ball season, we pride ourselves on being the dancing ball. We do less talking at our ball and more dancing. I won't speak about prizes. We bundle our prizes, and this year we have prizes. You can even get a Jonkunu costume made for Carnival. We have trips, we have hotel stays. Of course, BTC have provided several devices, and we want to thank BTC for partnering with us because they have been the ultimate title sponsor. I can reach out to them at any time, and they're prepared and they're ready, and they have really worked with us for the success of this ball. We know the ball will be a success. We have great entertainment. Our house band is the rhythm band, and this year, because it's the 50th ball, we're not bringing you one guest artist, we're bringing you two. So Bahamas, get ready to see D-Mac live.
Oh boy.
And Missy Ellis. We are going to bring down the house. Of course, DJ Rice will be in the house as well. Not to mention the 5-course meal. We're stepping it up this year because of the 50th ball. We are having a silent auction. This year, we have partnered with Easy Sales, and on the silent auction, which bidding will start at $40,000, is a 5-seater, fully electronic SUV. The retail price on that vehicle is some $60,000 plus. So we're saying to you, come ready and prepared to bid on that vehicle. And you can drive, the vehicle will be there that night. It will be on display, so you can bid on that. We also have a grand raffle, which goes for $100 a pop. And that grand raffle is a trip for two electronic tickets on United Airlines to wherever they fly in the U.S.
Wow.
So we got a lot going on.
we got a beautiful night. We have things to give away. We have things to raffle. We got things that you can bid on. So it seems like a full experience. Where is the event taking place?
It will be held Saturday, January 27th at 7 p.m. at the New Providence Ballroom, Bahamas. Cocktails start at 7, and during the cocktail hour, the Defense Force Band will provide music. During the dinner hour, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band will provide music.
And where can folks purchase tickets?
You can get tickets from any one of the committee members. You can call the Bahamas Red Cross at 323-7370, and we even deliver. So if you're ready, I have tickets here ready to go this morning.
There's no excuses. Just find your way to the ball. That's what I'm hearing today. But I just want to say thank you so much for the work that you all are doing for the community and for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together, or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's to come.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Thanks, Godfrey. During the Royal Bahamas Police Force's 2024 church service, Prime Minister Davis, saddened by the surge in crime, proposed a national day of prayer to the Christian Council for healing and comfort. With us now to discuss this is Bishop Delton Fernander, President of the Bahamas Christian Council and lead pastor of New Destiny Baptist Church. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's a privilege to be back.
Unfortunately, we're discussing under, I guess, unfortunate circumstances, but how has the recent surge of murders impacted your perspective on the future of our nation?
I think it's now time has challenged us to do more. The population of the Bahamas are now frightened to come out at night service, so it's changed the whole dynamics. The fear of crime is real. And one of the things we are doing more in the church is social initiatives. We're going out more, we're partnering with the entities, there are many entities, the feeding program that was just, and all of the things that we do. but now we have to get more involved in the younger generation of our country.
What does it say that the Prime Minister of our country, taking scope of the situation, his natural reaction was to say, we need to pray?
It's great. We've had 4 national days of prayer. All of them have been because of natural disaster or something happening in our country. For the years I've been president, 6 years, my 3rd term, we've tried to have it established that we don't have to wait for a national calamity for us to have a national day of prayer. It is a humbling point that you humble yourself and realize that these problems are greater than you. I cannot call a national day of prayer. Only the Prime Minister by proclamation can declare a day, a national day of prayer. We've been working on this, hence his ending of it, that we've been talking about it. We thought it was time for us to have it, and we're looking forward to Monday at 7 p.m. in Rawson Square, the place of our authority and power, to have a national day of prayer proclaimed by the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. What
has been the response from the public, to, I guess, the planning for this initiative?
Well, it's always varies. 70% Christian, 70+% Christian. So there are those who believe in prayer, who believe in the power of prayer, and ascribe to the things of Christ. And then there's the 30, 20-something plus that have no desire for the things of Christ. And sometimes in the social media sphere, it is the 1% that controls the conversation where we are. I'm asking, as we did on the 4th, that the nation come forward and let's pray for our nation. I'm asking on Sunday that every church in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas carve out some time to pray. I'm asking on the islands, at that period when we're in Rawson Square, find a space and a place. Most churches or some churches have prayer meeting on Mondays. Let's continue this conversation with God, asking Him to heal our land.
We know that you are a minister of the gospel, but you're also a citizen of the Bahamas with genuine concerns. What do you think needs to be done on a legal or from a judicial point of view to help combat these murders?
Well, we had the conversation around bail and we heard the response yesterday. We have to fix it. Whatever it takes to really, these offenders are prolific and they're killing each other, and the streets are happening in broad daylight. And so whether it's the judicial system, whether it's the enforcement system, we have to give space to the police. I think the crime fight has to be more aggressive now. Stop, search, frisk has to take place. It might inconvenience us, but it has to be seen as a war we're fighting, and all of us must mind our place and do our part.
Yeah, you made some remarks to the extent, or saying that folks should really take it as a personal responsibility to support the police in practical ways. What are some of those practical ways?
Crime watch. If you see something, say something. If you're aware of your environment, you're aware of what's going on, something strange in your community, wherever you're at, you have to be an army, a part of that army of one. But wherever you're at, you do your part. You're looking out for the children that are returning. You see strangers in your community. You see cars that are moving through over and over again. Don't hesitate to give that information. And those who are available, we have to patrol our own neighborhoods at night.
I think we've seen an evolution of sorts. As you mentioned, folks are afraid in a way that they may not have been before. When you looked at crime, particularly when you looked at murder, it was very person to person, usually under the dark of night, very specific. Not that that made it better, but that was different for the public. Now we're observing, quite a number of murders happening in broad daylight, happening without concern for the people who are in the surrounding area. What do you think is responsible for that, I guess, negative evolution?
I think we've reached a point where the demographic of those perpetrators are becoming younger. And we had the opportunity over the weekend to speak to the gang leaders. Some of the gang leaders are older. Some of the ones doing the perpetration are younger. They have no kind of restraint. They have no kind of understanding that it's inappropriate behavior or it should not be happening. And with that being said, they too cannot control the younger teenagers who are doing things that are way out of bounds. And so, interesting enough, they too need help, because the organizations they've created have now morphed into a younger army of young people who have no kind of understanding. The only way you can get to them is when it's their mother, their sister, their brother, and they understand that they don't want this kind of stuff in their life. They chose that life of crime, but they don't want their children, their family, their parents to be involved, which is interesting in the conversation, that sometimes we forget that the same thing you're doing to somebody's mother, the same thing you're doing to somebody's sister, is what you don't want to happen in your life.
It is. It is a strange sort of dichotomy that people live in. But, you know, and that's it. That speaks to, again, you may relate to the world a certain way, but you love your family and you want them to be well, you know. For those who want to support, for those who want to be present, what do those plans look like?
In Russell Square, there are the bleachers that we use for Junkanoo. The state will open the House of Assembly on Wednesday, hence why this had to happen on Monday. They're going to allow those bleachers to remain. People can come downtown, the regular parking as you would have for Junkanoo, and you can walk at 7 p.m. sharp. We will begin the time of prayer, the time of interceding for our nation. But even if you can't make it downtown, like I said, your place in space, whether you're in church, you're in your prayer meeting, wherever you're at, from 7 to 8:30, let's join in prayer.
You know, the Prime Minister spoke about a very active commitment to fighting crime, particularly in the Bahamas. What role does the Christian community have to play in that?
We're rolling out, surprisingly enough, I think a lot of people don't understand that most of the things that happen under the name of different organizations are Christian organizations. Some of the feeding programs are Christian organizations. Some of the relief programs are Christian organizations. All the international ones during the hurricane are Christian organizations. We engage at that level, but we're rolling out from the church perspective, from the council perspective, something called Operation Restoration. We're going to really put more emphasis in our parks, in our communities, do the things we do best. Roll out some of our evangelism tools in the inner city, more visible, more in the open, more young leaders playing that kind of music that young people can ascribe to. But we're going to come out the four walls. We're going to walk. We're involved with the urban centers. We're involved with the community policing. We're involved with social services. And we're going to amalgamate them because sometimes they can pull on us, but it's now time for us to pull on ourselves and meet with the pastors in different areas. And let's come up with unique things that work in the community you pastor. Don't duplicate from another community. What's working in our community where we're at, let's come on an alliance and work together and make a difference.
And then I guess just make a quick appeal to the person who's at home. It's like, oh, I want things to change. I'll pray at my house. I don't need to come out. What would you say to them?
It's time for us to show the force. Anytime things change in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, it took good people standing up. Mothers Against Drugs, when we started to align and walk the streets. We're going to walk, but I want it to begin with Russell Square. If you believe, like I believe, good people need to stand up and make a statement that thousands of us come down to Russell Square and change the course of our country.
And all I can say to that is amen.
Amen. Bless you.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning and the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Join us for the Bahamas Business Outlook Conference, Thursday, January 25th, 8:45 a.m. at the Bahamas Convention Center. We're bringing the business community together under the theme, Future Bahamas, branding the national identity and planning for success. The day includes a business expo, lunch, an art tour, keynote address by Prime Minister Davis, exciting panels, and so much more. Begin your year on a high note. Get your tickets today at tclevents.com.
Well, it has been a fantastic Monday here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We've had such great conversations about all of the community initiatives that are taking place. We talked about Culture on the Key, getting the stories of creatives out there. We talked about the Bahamas Humane Society and the work that they are doing to manage our animal population and show them kindness and compassion. We talked to the Red Cross about the work that they are doing and their very important fundraiser, The Ball. And of course, we just went over that message from Bishop Delton Fernander about the National Day of Prayer, which is today. So even if you can't make it out this evening, this is a great opportunity to take some time, whether it's at your office or wherever you may be today, pause for a few minutes and pray for the health and safety of our nation and pray for the future, and then figure out what it is that you can do. So put that prayer and work together, and I guess take that as a theme throughout your week to make it a great week, and we'll see you on Friday.